Okay, awesome. Sorry for being a bit late. I was finishing dinner. I want to wash my hands. I'll be right back. I'm back. Hello and welcome to the stream. Last week, we were working on lining this illustration, so going over top of all of the 3D line work and stuff. Had a bit of troubleshooting issues in the sense of my at some point I realized my DPI wasn't correct. I was working at 72 DPI and I wanted to be working at 300. So I changed that, and unfortunately that changed the size of my other window screen. Did not realize it. It was pointed out to me, thankfully, and then when I went to go and try and change it, the entire program froze. I couldn't do anything, so I had to just try and let the... I force closed it and then reopened it, and I lost about 40 minutes worth of progress. It was painful. I greatly disliked it, and yeah, we stopped there for the night. I was personally done. So I came in yesterday, finished up all of the line work, and then I also went in and traced over the shadows that have already been established by the 3D program. So that was fun. I am looking at the screen now and I realized I didn't get it underneath all of the benches. So before we get into the actual coloring of the piece, I need to finish those shadows, and then we'll be good to color. This feels loud in my ears. I just want to make sure this is not loud in yours. Let me lower it down just slightly. It's probably a bit better. Alright. That's where... I love when my tablet decides that the working screen is going to be different. Oh! The entire device is disconnected. That's not ideal. What is not connected? Certainly not my HDMI. That's all good. The power's running fine. So then it has to be this one. Okay. That should be reconnected. It's registering it, because it's letting me draw with the other one. Why? Why? Why do you defy me, sir? Just don't tell me I have to do something ridiculous. Why aren't you connected? I didn't want to troubleshoot, I just wanted to draw. What's the problem? This was not my plan. I just wanted to draw. Is this too much to ask? Let's check underneath here. See what's the problem. So braided cord comes down here. And did that do anything? Nope. Okay, maybe I just need to switch the port. Is that one? Still not working? Great. And I just know I didn't close my lines. So if I wanted to... I don't know if I could even use the bucket tool on this. This is not how I wanted this to go. You've come at a lovely time. Welcome. I'm troubleshooting, because... why not? Why not work? That's the question. Why not work? I have to restart my computer. I really don't want to restart my computer. I don't understand. You were working yesterday. I have the screen up. It has all of the things except being able to recognize the pen on the pen screen. Which leads me to believe this is a software issue for some reason. Don't you love when devices decide, hey, you know how we worked yesterday, and that was great? How about we don't work today? Isn't that fun? Isn't that cool? I think this means I need to... For version 15, go to Settings, General Task, Administrative Privileges. Run the driver and restart the driver software? I can restart the driver software? Okay, let's try that. Okay, settings, general tab? Where's the general tab? Maybe it's in systems? Nope. I've failed on the second task. How lovely. Oh, is it update? I don't wanna update. I just wanna... Can I just search up administrative privileges? Skip the little steps? Nope. Am I gonna have to uninstall? I don't want to uninstall and reinstall the driver. Means the hardware is no problem. Skip the step when you... Okay. Ugh. How to install UN driver on Windows. Lovely! Hold on. Let me unplug the tablet before I, you know, uninstall the driver. Let's search for that. Where is the driver? Storage, maybe? I don't know. No, that's not correct. No. This is so great. I love this. I don't remember where the driver went. You would think it'd be in driver. Maybe I just need to, you know, search it up. Yuan. I hate searching things up on the computer because then the computer needs to search through everything in order to actually, you know, be able to find something. It has to search through everything. Apparently. That's gonna take way too long. It has to be in the I have two different areas for where storage happens. It has to be over here. Nope. This is alphabetical and it's not in there. Okay, maybe it's in Xbox games for whatever reason. Nope. Just Minecraft. Program files? Yes. So I think just delete that. What is this open on? What do you mean? This action can't be completed because the folder or file is open in another program. Who opened you? Where do you belong? Do I have to close Photoshop? Ugh. Alright. Nope, that's not it. Alright, there. You can have me talking. Alright. No, we do not need to open Adobe Bridge. There's so much happening right now. I just wanted to save it. Please. I haven't even done anything yet. I don't even need to save it. Where is... I think I closed everything. Okay. Now will you work? Now can I delete you? No. What's opening it? Literally, what is accessing you? What? But please, sir, I need to understand. I just want this to work. You know, my day's been pretty good up till this point. I didn't have any problems. I I had a good time. The only thing that I wanted to do was maybe go on a bike ride, but then I didn't do that because I was like, oh, well, it's supposed to rain. I didn't want to bike in the rain. Literally, what is opening this, right? Nothing should be opening this. I don't understand. Okay, so let's open that file again. Thankfully, I found where it's located. It's pretty easy to find. It's program files. Should have guessed. Do I need to... Can I not just delete it? Do I need to, like... Maybe there's an uninstall one. Yes! Yes, uninstall. We're learning things. We're figuring it out. You have to uninstall it. You have to uninstall it with the actual program, else it doesn't work. Okay, so now that we do that, we can reinstall the driver. Back to website. Products. Support download center. Yes, that's what we want. Pen display. Canvas Pro. Row 24. Download that. And then we can reinstall it. And hopefully, this will fix everything. Please. Okay. All graphic softwares are closed. I agree with the user agreement. Install now. Okay. That was quick. That downloaded very quickly. Now, we'll replug. Plug this. Alright. Well, it's on the other screen now. That's fun. But now we can open up the Huion tablet. Please? Can I open it? I would like to open up the software, please. Oh. No, I don't want to share data. No thanks. There we go. Have that correct. Awesome. I don't know if I ever changed... I'll change the buttons later. That's the one problem with downloading and re-downloading software. All your buttons change. Where did my mouse go? Okay, let's reopen Photoshop. Now that we got the tablet working, we should be able to start. Finally, after 20 minutes! I did not want to spend 20 minutes. Why do you do this? Why? Okay. Now we can go back to drawing. Did you grab the correct one? I think it did. It could be a bit smaller though. So, cool. That is all set up now, and we can finally draw. Thank you for your patience if you ended up hanging around for that. Hi! Welcome in! We just managed to fix this. Took me 20 minutes, been streaming for 20 minutes, and I had to troubleshoot for most of it, but I'm pretty sure we finished. Yeah! Hi! Welcome in! I fixed it! You came in just in time! You have missed literally nothing! I have spent the last 20 minutes troubleshooting, because for whatever reason, my tablet decided, hey, you know, it'd be fun if the driver just stopped working for some reason. But we're good now. Well, welcome in. I hope your day has been going well. Don't worry, we fixed it. It's fine. I'm not in pain at all. It is. Thank you. I knew it was like a hardware issue though. Not a hardware. I knew it was a software issue, not a hardware issue. I would have been mad if it was a hardware issue. Because, oh my gosh, I just bought this tablet not too long ago. I do not need it to have complaints. It's a bit too early for that. I haven't used it enough for it to start having complaints. I would prefer if it just didn't in general have complaints. I know, 20 minutes. Okay. Everything's all calibrated and good and whatnot. I pulled up an old version of this so I know what kind of colors to use. We are vibing, we are good. So, guys, has Jay been good? Hopefully it has. Do anything fun? I think I'm gonna start with this street. That seems like a good color. Technically, my day started with 56 minutes ago, and those 56 minutes have been pretty relaxing. So I'd say that's going pretty well. Nice, nice. I love a good, like, 56 start to the day. Nice and relaxing. This will be so satisfying because I already have some of the shadows all set in. And don't worry, we're going to be putting in all of the details, hence the title of the stream. I want cracks in the sidewalk. I want potholes in the road. I want all the things. It shall be grand. By the way, this is looking gorgeous. Thank you! I've been really enjoying the process for the most part. It was kind of annoying when last week my file decided to riot against me. It decided to rebel. And that was a time, let me tell you. The file just froze for whatever reason. I was like, huh? Why did we do that? Why did we freeze? Did not tell me why. just continued being frozen. So then I had to go in and restart the program without saving my file because it was literally frozen. I had to force quit it. And then, of course, because of that, nothing was saved from the last 40 minutes. I rage quit after that point. So then I finished up the line art yesterday because I did not want to do that all over again. It was too late in the day to continue drawing after having such a frustrating setback. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we started with a 3D model of this. I am not quite as good with perspectives otherwise. Like, I can kind of do it, but it takes me so long. So what I do instead is I build it out in Blender, and then I trace over it. So for your knowledge, this is what the Blender model looks like. Absolutely adore the color scheme, the beautiful line work, the style, the composition, the shadows. This is wonderful. Oh, thank you. I was very lucky to have been able to take a Blender class. Well, technically it was a 3D animation class. Did I switch my stream? Wait, hold on. I think I did, right? It's just my YouTube loading screen. Yeah, I did. Okay, good, fantastic. I mean, you were commenting on the work, which means it was. I just psyched myself out because I saw something different on my other screen. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so my 3D animation class, we focused a lot on the creation of assets and working in Blender, and only a little bit on the actual animation portion, but that was okay with me, because that was what I took the class for, wasn't for necessarily making an animated project. It was for designing things in Blender. I'm sure some other people were probably more annoyed about the fact that we spent so long learning the program and not a lot of time animating, but I was just glad to have learned. And if you see some fuzzy lines, that's because those were the transferred over lines from the 70. Part of what caused my issue was I wasn't drawing in 300 DPI, I was drawing in 72. And that wasn't desired. I wanted to actually be able to print this. So I changed it. So some of the lines are fuzzy. I need to try and figure out how I can sharpen those. I've seen the streams be scheduled or after they're done due to time zones, so I'm super glad to be here for another stream since they're so freaking chill and cozy. I'm glad they're enjoyable. I try and do make sure they're nice. I have also found that my skills, or at least being able to talk to myself for extended periods of time, have transferred over to my part-time job. I work as a after-school art teacher, and sometimes the kids are really young, like really young. So having the ability to just keep running commentary on your own without the input of someone is actually really helpful. Just narrating what I'm doing, trying to help them out. 2D print or 3D print? 2D print. I want to, so this ended up being one of my more popular posters prints that I sold. that was like the first thing that people were like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So I wanted to refresh it and then also print it for other people to enjoy, because they were widely enjoyed the last time. I'm gonna need to add some people in, but that can be a later project. I want to start coloring. I'll like reduce the opacity, then we can go back in. Your voice is so lovely, by the way. Hope that's not weird to say, part of the reason why your streams are so pleasant. Well, that's nice to hear, because, you know, it's kind of hard to determine the quality of your voice yourself, because you hear your own voice through just any sort of recording, and you're like, oh, this is so gross. It's like, I physically could not stand listening to a presentation I made. I had to leave the classroom, because apparently we decided to record the presentations and then listen to them, and I was just cringing so bad. I was like, I cannot listen to this. I need to leave. I'm too used to hearing my own inner voice in my ears, so there's like a bit of cadence that is missing, that everyone else is missing, obviously. Also, now that I've added the sidewalks, the streets are looking a bit too purple. Let's change that. Yeah, neither can I. Yep. I've gotten a bit better at it because, you know, I've had to edit my own videos. So then you kind of have to be able to listen to your own voice when you're editing your own videos. So I don't actually dislike the purple undertone. I think it's just could be a bit darker and a little less saturation. Yeah. That's better. I think the other, I made the streets, oh, these are a completely wrong color. Hold on. I need a slightly red tone. And then for the slightly darker, I want the bike lane to be painted red. What program do you use for the drawing section? I use Photoshop because I work professionally enough that I kind of need the tools. Like, I do enough book projects that I need it in InDesign, and I use enough of the programs for other things that I was like, ugh, fine. But I managed to get some student discount. Off the record, I'm not currently a college student, but it's okay. Before my school account was disabled, I was able to lock in at least 2 years worth of student discount for Adobe. I call that a win. Gosh, this music is just masterclass. I really must play Wonder Stuff as soon as possible. Well, you'll have to wait until after the stream is over, or else you might be a little bit overwhelmed by the doubling of the music. Just slightly. Or maybe not. I'm not you. You might be able to handle it just fine. I think the red lighting was essentially from a light screen. Shotgun horror. You gonna snitch on me? You gonna snitch on me? Hey, at least I'm paying for it. Some people don't even pay for the Adobe Suite. Which would be tempting, though I don't want to give my computer a virus. I also need my stuff to be compatible with other versions. Oh, and a fun thing I did today was I worked on my garden proposal. So me and my dad moved to a new place, and I want, depending on, I don't know if you were here for it, but I'm not the biggest fan of grass. Some would call me, some may say I'm a hater, but it is my goal to try and build the most beautiful space that I can using other plants besides grass, because come on, grass is just so vanilla at this point. It's just so sad. We could be doing so much better than this. So I've been making a garden proposal because I need to run it by my dad first, because he owns the house. So I kind of need his permission to, you know, build things. I switched to Affinity because one-time payment, well, now it's free, which is kind of concerning, to be honest. I can't remember why I was considering Affinity, but I had a specific book project that I was working on, and I needed a program that I was familiar with, because, oh boy, what a project, let me tell you. I'm not even done with it yet, but there's like so much going on in that book. It's a children's workbook, so there's a lot of things that you need to pay attention to. Also, I'm realizing that when I use the bucket tool, I love/hate the bucket tool, because I love that the bucket tool fills an area quickly for you, but then also it decides that it just can't fill in an area for some reason. The pixels aren't right, I don't know, it wasn't feeling it that day, and it just makes a little white line around wherever you're trying to use it. Wanderstop is pretty much at the top of my list for games to play. Wait, it's a game? Wait, this is a game? Hold on. Let me look this up. I was just under the impression this was just a... Is this a game? Oh, it is. Wait, did he design... Oh my gosh, I am learning so much lore. I've just been listening to the music because it was nice and it was good and it wasn't so copyrighted as Minecraft music, but it turns out I thought it looked like a D&D campaign. No wonder. It looks slightly fantasy-esque. A later time. I didn't know. I was just looking through his stuff because he didn't copyright his music. And I was like, that's so cool of you. I can use it for my streams. Thank you so much. Turns out it was for another game. And I'm lucky that they also didn't require him to to give up the copyright of the work. Hollow Knight's OST has some good ones that people use a lot. Oh, nice. I'm so annoyed with the people who decided, you know what, I am gonna re-upload C418's music and then copyright claim it, because he didn't do that. So that means I can do it and claim money off of his work. Very annoying, very annoying. You can dispute the claim, and they won't try and refute it because they have absolutely no evidence. No basis to stand here, but it's still annoying. Still annoying that I have to wait 30 days, and if I like have 3 strikes and you're out kind of situation. So even if I'm like reasonably confident that they wouldn't try and, refute it and that nothing's gonna come of it, it's still really annoying. It's just too much pressure. I don't need that stress. Does not need it. Let's make this slightly yellow. That way it gets affected by the overlay layer when I use it for lighting. At some point I'm gonna need to stream Minecraft again, because it's been a bit since I've shown you an update and I've made some real progress on the boathouse. There's a roof, there's a second level, I start adding details. I'm quite happy with how it's turning out. If only I could build the roof of the barn. That's been there for ages and I have not done anything with it. Oh, and because I have the mob farm working, I could essentially sit there for a bit and collect some bones so I can get started on the Greek city. It is vanilla, though sometimes my computer thinks it's modded because I will use what's it called again? Optifine. Optifine to help it process better, though I think I need to use a different one because my shaders stopped working for it. And I have a pretty reasonably beefy computer. Like, I went a little bit overboard when I was buying my desktop after college. This was back in 2024. I decided, you know what, I'm going to want to mess around in Blender and I want a reasonably powerful computer because 16 gigabytes is not doing it anymore. I need something more. So instead of, jumping to the next level, I just went completely overboard and got 64 gigabytes, which I'm really glad about now, because I don't know if you've seen the price of RAM nowadays, but it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know who gave them the gall, the audacity. I don't know. There's something. It's AI. It's always AI. But Anyway, because I have a reasonably beefy computer, I like to run shaders while I play, and not just when I am trying to take a pretty picture, because I can. I'd recommend installing Fabric Mod Loader than installing Sodium and Iris mods for optimizations shaders. That's what I've been hearing. Iris for shaders and whatnot. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'm lightly traumatized from the time my dad, I asked one time back when I was a little kid. It's like, yeah, can you download this mod for me? And oh my gosh, that was a process. It is so much easier now. It is so much easier to get mods onto your computer. That one, the major concern was making sure you didn't get a virus on your device. So I still like to be cautious when downloading things. Typically I'll try and find a video that talks about it so I can try and get the actual link. Because I don't know if I can always trust the first thing that comes up on Google. or when in doubt, consult the archives of Reddit. That's a good place. NeoForge mod loader can do the same thing, but that's newer. Yeah. Out there trying to make it easier. It's nice. Don't you love when you're drawing for so long and then you're like, I messed up one thing. Control Z, everything's gone. Everything's gone. This is specific with coloring. Thinking the lamps are probably going to be, well, I can make them any color that I want. I could make them green. Green could be fun. Nowadays, mod loaders such as Midranth or CurseForge have a list basically where you can scroll down a list of mods, and if you see one you like, you can click install and it's there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I have CurseForge. I use that occasionally. I tried to mod Minecraft for the first time a year ago, and it was quite the procedure. Yes. And if you imagine it was quite the procedure then, it was a behemoth of a task back in, I don't know, what was it, 2015? Yeah, it was just a lot. It was, I don't know how, like, I guess if you're doing it as a job and you do it enough, you'll get used to the process of it, but Dan TVM did so many mod reviews. He must have had, like, a beefy, malware blocker. I can't imagine he didn't. Well, now that you've mentioned that this is a game, I'm just left wondering, what parts of the game am I listening to? Like, I've listened to this album so many times that I feel like I'm gonna have deja vu when I'm playing the game. If I end up playing the game. I played on Java for a while, but just never got around to modding it until a year or two ago. Yeah. We've got bike paths, we got things. I need to put paint on the roads, but that's detail work and I should worry about that later, but it's so enticing because I just thought of it. I could add cracks, but I should at least color the building. Do all the flat stuff first and then we can do the details. Like we were just talking about. Green for the lamppost. Green could be fun. It's better than black. If you have not heard me talk about this town before, stop me if I have, but essentially, this town is a town it's known for its artist. It has a wide market of small businesses, and this is because the local mayor ran the walled market out of town. That's like her crowning achievement, as that she managed to kick them out. And the town was made better for it, because then people start buying from local businesses again. Ah, you know what time it is. That's right, it's broom time. Dun dun da dum da dum dun da dum. I just love that song. You know what time it is. That's right, it's broom time. I think the last stream of viewers I was able to catch was one in which you were working on the trash band a few months ago, so I wonder how much of I've seen of your story since then. Well, this isn't for the trash band, though I have been working on making the second issue for that, because another Comic-Con's coming up, so I need new material. Always have to freshen up the booth. 'Cause people are gonna see you again, because all of the same people come to the same event. You gotta refresh your stuff. But this is for my story When It Rains. And its story When It Rains is it's every 100 years or so when it rains, puddles turn into portals and creatures emerge from them. And it's only supposed to happen for one day, and yet for a small town in Maine, it continues to occur. So 14-year-old Lena teams up with a begrudging PhD student to study this event and figure out why the heck it's going on. Have you released the first issue? It's not online, but I ordered like 50 of them, and I sold about half. And a lot of them I sold them as like a book bundle, so I have trash bin stickers. So I sold all 4 of the trash bin stickers with the book, and I made that a clean 20. I sold a decent amount of those ones. It went well. It went really well. That needs to be brighter. A bit brighter. A bit brighter. Yeah, I think that's good. Oh, thank you. It's always really satisfying to be able to sell your stuff and not just like what usually sells the most at Comic-Con is fan art, because people like buying stuff that they know. But if you are good enough at telling your concept and explaining it, you can sell your original work too. And I am very glad that people find my stuff intriguing enough that they actually want to buy my originals. Because I do have a couple pieces of fan art, but my original stuff tends to outsell it. One of the other things I like to sell is plushies. I make those by hand, so it takes a bit. In fact, tomorrow I'm gonna be working a decent amount of time on those, because I really need to ramp up production. I currently have a very small amount of plush stockpiled. Yeah, they're cute little guys. I make crows, I make fish, and then this Comic-Con, I am going to be making frogs. I was going to make possums, because people like when they can connect stuff to a story. Like, anytime that I got questions on my crows, they're like, oh, do you have a story for it? And I was like, no, I just kind of like making crows. I'm not going to talk about the fact that I watched probably a little bit too much Phil's in Minecraft, but I really enjoy the crows. They're nice. I just made them because they're funny little guys. The fish people understood, because I think you can probably tell fish are a bit of a motif with my artwork. Frogs, well, it's springtime. I do have some frog stories, but it would have been nice to make the possums, but the place I get my fabric from did not have them in stock. So I had to order different fabric. Hence the frogs. Though I could, like, if I had realized how white the fabric was going to be, I thought it was going to be a really light green. But no, the stomach fabric ended up being white. I could have made bean plushies. Bean plushies would have been fun. I've made a big version of it before, so it'd be kind of fun to make some smaller versions to sell. One of the other things I want to get a move on is actually completing volume 2 for Being Small Worlds, because I am so close to having enough pages for that. I just wanted to get it to a good stopping point, and I need to do that soon because I need to order the books, which ordering books is kind of a pain because you have to order so many of them. That can get a little bit pricey. Alright. Let's make a separate layer, because at this point we're going to be coloring buildings and whatnot. And I don't need to fret about the floor. Oh, I didn't do the floor properly. Hold on. There's a portion of the bike path not colored in. I'm trying to think of the bike path I want to give in. I want to add the details. Maybe I should just give in. Add the details. What's the worst that could happen? I need to add some paint on the side of the road. I think cities just, from what I can remember, cities usually rely on the gutters to mark the road, maybe? I need a reference picture. City streets. Yeah, it relies on the gutter. I think the only bit of paint that sits on the road is to define the lanes. Yeah. And since these are one-way roads, maybe I'll add some arrows on the bottom of the road. It's one of the things is need to make sure that people clearly actually, do I need to? It's the right of way. If people don't understand the right of way, then they're not really good at driving. I think we should be fine. I might not need to add some paint, but I do need to add cracks. These are integral. So is this a part of one of your projects when it rains? Being Small World? No. I have a lot of projects, if you haven't noticed. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough, and then I just need to take a look at and make an itemized list of all the projects I've started. My brain likes to convince me that I should start more. I'm not doing enough. Which is silly. Because I start so many projects, I have a hard time finishing them. Did depending on the city, I'm assuming you don't want to change layout perspective. Sometimes roads are slightly divoted, slow rolling hills to have natural gutters. I'm just gonna say we're zoomed out enough that there are gutters, and I just didn't include them because we're so zoomed out you can't see them. Oh no. But yeah, they definitely need gutters because... Ooh. Flooding streets might be an interesting idea to explore. The street's just turning into portals. Oh, that would be horrendous. The roads were looking a little too perfect. Just me as a person from Michigan, I cannot. These roads are too bright to be freshly paved. It's a city. They don't repave roads often, you crazy? Puddles that are portals? Heck yeah, I love that idea. Creatures emerging from them? Heck yeah. Absolutely. Yes. In a perfect world, in a great world, or at least a world that is kind, this would become an animated TV show. That's what I'm designing this around. I need to look up cracks in the street. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. But I do think that I could... The story itself would work well as a graphic novel. I just think its best form would be animation, because I have specific thoughts in mind on how I want... Like, I found some music that I think would cause a very dramatic, just really dramatic emotional moments in the story. I have visions and thoughts and ideas, and I need them to be executed at some point. I just think it would be really cool. I want to watch it. I want it to be real. I hope you get to make it real. Thank you! I hope so too. I'm almost finished making the pitch Bible that you have to make in order to pitch stuff like this. Because as much as I'm getting better at animation, I personally do not want to make the entire animated project. I would want to have a studio team to work with me. Because part of the fun with animated projects is getting to explore your ideas with other people, and then them getting better because you're collaborating with other people. That is very much one of the reasons I want it to be an animated show. Because at some points I think this story is much bigger than myself. Reading the synopsis for When It Rains makes me super intrigued. It's an animated show series based on the info from your... Yeah. I'm reading stuff out of order. Don't mind me. That'd be awkward. Hey mom, I'm late again, but bus got warped to Narnia. That would be an interesting concept. See, great things come from collaborating with other people. I didn't even think about the fact that, like, other people would inadvertently get transported off to the other side of the portal. I was just thinking about things coming through and very limited amount of people visiting. I didn't even think about others. Good ideas, good ideas. And then I think what we're gonna do is, you know, when they add like the black pebbly stuff to fill in the road, we're doing that. Fix the cracks. Sometimes do the black pebbly stuff, sometimes they use tar. I think maybe we're committing and doing tar. Oh, it would be so cool to see a pitch Bible, but I understand that can't really be shared. Most of the information I might have out and about, so I might be able to do a quick flip through with other people. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of something you have to be careful about sharing too readily, because it has a bit more of the story plot into it, so people might... Yeah, that might be a later Alyssa share. I do like sharing stuff, so though it's fun sharing projects. I just like talking about it. You'd probably want it so that heavy storms, tornadoes, would make large enough portals for vehicles to go through, else Timmy is going to be struggling with attendance and getting to work. Yeah, so part of the magic structure is the water content in the portals, like in a puddle, has to be majority affected water, or else it just doesn't form. So the ocean, that's not going to turn into a portal. That's just too much unaffected water. Ponds, though, you might get I think the largest portal would be a pond. Otherwise, everything else is just... Maybe at the initial rainflow, I would have to like re-look into how much water gets added to a system when there's a heavy rainstorm. Then bike paths. Do bike paths usually have paint on them? Is this another situation of they have paint when they need to be defined, but if they're already defined, they don't necessarily have paint? I think it's mostly just... Oh! It has a drawing of... a person on a bike. Let's make this a bit smaller. Who designed this logo? Ah, it's poise. It's like Broom, but different. copy this, flatten it out, because I tried to draw it in perspective, but sometimes that's a bit difficult. And then redraw on the road. Because I realized I was adding details right on the background, which is great and all, except when you make changes. I really love this idea of puddles and ponds becoming portals. I love Irish mythology and folklore and the other world. The world of the Fae and the fairies. The land of eternal youth is something I would like to take more influence and inspiration in my writing and storytelling. So thinking of different ways portals can be formed is very fun. Right? I like the other idea of, like, my little twist is trying to make it more grounded, or at least in the sense of the magic system's very limited. It's based off of desire. So you can't, it's like the mirror in Harry Potter, where you can't just want something, you have to genuinely desire it. So this leads to Lena desiring, wanting things, but then her desires are a bit deeper than her wants. So then the magic just tries to meet the desire and interprets it in odd ways. In very odd ways. Like, in one of the episodes, I'll have it where Lena wants Payson to understand her and to stop treating her like a kid, take her more seriously. So then Payson gets transformed into a teenager for like 3 days so they can metaphorically and quite literally just remember what it's like to be a teenager and how difficult that can be. I love this concept so much. I really would. You can make this story. Well, it's definitely gonna happen in some form. If I make it into an animated show or a graphic novel, it will become something because I want it to be something. I have these flipped. Hold on. So this one needs to be facing this way because that's the correct way, and then this one needs to be facing the other way because we're driving on the right side of the path. So this needs to be flipped. There we go. It's such a wonderful and brilliant idea. Thank you. I got the very base idea from a writing prompt on Reddit, but then the entire thing kind of devolved from there, from my own research. I've done a lot of reading for this project. One of the reasons is one of the main characters is going to be a Native American who got stuck on the other side of the portal. Well, her ancestors got stuck on the other side of the portal. So they have very little influence from modern society. So then it's going to be Lena happening upon her, and they're gonna become friends and have a wonderful time just getting to know someone who, despite living in a very different situation, understands them so much better than anyone else in their life. So I still need to, but I did a lot of reading for that because I want to make sure the story is nice and additive and a good representation that doesn't rely on stereotypes, because one of my least favorite things that happens when characters of different cultures get added into a show is when it's not thoughtfully considered. So then it's just kind of added in there for the sole purpose of diversity and no other reason. Like, there's real cultural things that just affect a character and how they act and how they behave, and to ignore that and to not even take that into consideration. You don't even have to share it in the story, but like doing the research for it and then knowing about it and knowing all of your character's backstory and how they grew up really helps you flesh them out. I think it's a missed opportunity when people don't do that. Broom and Poise is like Wanderstop's Door and Key from C418's music for Minecraft. Oh, I'll have to re-listen to that more closely because I have not considered that. Ooh, that's fun. It brings up fun questions about timelines. I'm not gonna mess around with the with the time stream too much because that gets very convoluted very quickly if you're not careful. But essentially, both of them are in the same time frame. It's just they only meet every 100 years or so if it rains in that area, so it's not always consistent. My usage of the word fun in the same sequence twice may demonstrate how tired I am. That's okay. Sometimes I use repetitive words in my sentences too. It happens. I mean, it's only really a concern in novels, right? Like, then you can just go in and edit it out later. I think I'm gonna have to go into the shadows at some point. These little white lines everywhere are bugging me. They're bugging me a lot. Ooh, so it has to rain in both places at the same time. The more I learn of this, the more interesting it gets. Yeah, each portal has its own corresponding puddle. Or at least, I would describe it as essentially the Nether in Minecraft, where the portal is built on one side and then it just needs a connection point, that being a similar size of like body of water. So it doesn't necessarily need to rain in both places, but there needs to be a corresponding puddle of water. So then you'll just kind of go towards the closest body of water. Not that many people were able to study how consistent it is, because it's never happened this long before. But it'll be a area for Payson to hyperfixate on. I'm so excited for their Insanity arc, you have no idea. Payson this is their PhD focus. This is everything they've been studying. Their life's work, so to speak. As much of a life work as you can have in your late 20s. But Payson will essentially be doing theoretical research and just that's how their thesis is set up, just purely theoretical. And then this event happens and they get an opportunity to do actual lab work and in-field research, and they get so excited about it that they almost immediately lose focus on their own work and start doing a whole bunch of unrelated research and tests and trials, because this only happens so often. They have the rest of their life to put all of the research together into a readable format. They just need to collect it. They have no idea how much longer they have until it's not collectible anymore. So they have just a whole thing going on, which is probably also how Lena is able to actually get a job with them, because she gets nepotismed in. But then Payson becomes so just inundated with work that they eventually just have to accept her presence, if for the sheer fact that they need help and they've pushed away all of their other options. Now I'm imagining a sequence in going through a portal, and that's done in watercolor, given well puddles. That would be interesting. I haven't thought too hard of what a longer imagined portal jump would be, but I have thought about some moments where I want at some point for Lena to take her friend around the town. And so I want a scene of, like, you're seeing through Lena's friend's eyes. Like, have you seen that one scene from Bob's Burgers where essentially it's just tiny Bob holding his mom's hand as they're walking through the park? Something kind of like that, where you see the light filtering through and there's a whole bunch of dappled, it's all this dappled light on the ground, and it's kind of rounded, and it feels as if your head is moving through the town as you're walking through it. That's the general thought I have for that scene. Is I don't even know, like, what specifically that's given. Probably just the first time that LF, Lena's friend, walks through the town, just to help give the sense of awe that someone who's never seen something like this before would have into exploring a new place. I have a bunch of tiny little unrelated scenes like that I can't wait to put together. And if you're wondering, Alyssa, there is no buildings in the background over there. It just kind of ends. And you're right, it does just kind of end. But we're gonna essentially fake it slightly by making it fade out into the distance over here, and then maybe have some fog or something else to the left. Because I didn't want to design more in that moment, but I kind of need this to look like a complete image. So we're gonna do some artistic blurring of the background, Plus, we don't need all that detail in there. That distracts from the main image, which is the main downtown area. I don't necessarily need all the details in the corners. I love Lena's design so much. I feel like I connect with her already just through her clothing and facial expression. Yeah, she's so silly. Her main bit is that she wants to be an adult, in the sense of she wants to have a job, she wants to pay taxes, she wants to have responsibilities. Not that she's able to quantify this to anyone else, but the real reason why she wants to do this is because she wants to be respected. And she feels in order to do that, in order to have people respect her, she needs to be more grown up. So then you'd be thinking, okay, but her outfit is kind of childish in a way. And I want that to signify that even though she wants to be an adult, she doesn't necessarily want to be an adult. She wants people treating her seriously without all of the adult stress. She doesn't want to give up on the things that she loves from her childhood, but she feels like she has to in order to continue moving forward and having a social group. So then she's in cute little outfit because she hasn't quite let go, but then also she does need to go shopping and her mom has not taken her yet, and she hasn't pushed too hard because she does still really like her overalls. Also realizing I did not erase enough of some of the background because I think you can see it through the leaves, so I need to go back in and change that. Also, I am so glad you were able to find the When It Rains category, because I recently updated my portfolio website, and I used to have When It Rains right up front and center, but then it was suggested that I move it, so I just have a almost gallery-like effect with my page. Curate things a bit more. So then I moved a lot of the more sketchbook-like concept art stuff over into animation instead. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's something about your designs for your characters for When It Rains that feels so perfect for an animated show. Very Owl House-esque vibes. Yes, I mean, it's one of my inspirations for the show is the Owl House. Just in general, shows like that, like Gravity Falls, Amphibia, the Owl House. I just adore cartoons. I think my work has also been compared by people that I know to Steven Universe, which makes sense because I grew up on that show, so it would make sense that it influenced how I draw. If you're wondering about what kind of storytelling kind of vibe that I'm going for, there will be some of that Owl House-esque communication / humor. It will be different because I have different humor in general. But that is the general vibe I'm going for. Not quite the same, but there will be similarities. I think it'd be compared to that anyway just because of the concept. I think it's very funny that they had 2 Portal shows airing at the same time. It was probably by accident, because portals are not a new concept, but it's so funny that both of them just decided at a very similar time to have 2 shows that were playing around with the idea and concept of portals. Yeah, now that you mention it, I can kind of see it in your avatar. That's not right. I guess you'll have to clarify which show you're thinking of specifically. Maybe Steven Universe? No. Whatever. Wait, can I just click it again? And I'll get... Yes. I just have to click it twice, and then I'll get rid of it. Very lovely. And another bit of inspiration for me was when I was in high school, there was a senior. She was like the first person that I like looked at and saw who really also enjoyed and loved creating characters and worlds for the characters to interact in. She was the one who encouraged me to work on a more concrete story, to make characters and stick with them and flesh it out. And while I didn't stick with my characters as long as she did, it was a lot of fun building up something more involved. Because up until that point, I don't think I had done that. More likely to flip around in stories. I think she's still playing around with the same characters that she was then, which kudos to her. Loving your characters that much and getting attached to the story to be able to continue with it for so long. I think at times that can be hard. When you said Steven Universe, thanks. Thank you for clarifying. That's helpful to me. What you're doing here with all of your work for When It Rains is incredibly inspiring. It's invigorating my desire to make a project and show like this of my own. Yes! Make your own stuff. I love seeing other people come up with cool concepts. Like just the other day, I was just randomly scrolling through YouTube and I saw a animated show pitch, or it was like a pilot of someone essentially having just two siblings fighting over the same guy, but it was so silly. The main character was designed after an apple, and then the two twins were designed after worms. If that gives you any idea for how this relationship would actually turn out for the main character. I like went through their entire profile, looked through that. I absolutely adore seeing all of these animated show concepts and ideas. I'm so glad that more animated show pitches are getting made and people are creating stuff that they want to make. One of the things I'm working on currently is animating out a section from Pretty Please, I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl. I saw episode 2, loved it. I mean, I loved episode 1, and I loved episode 2, and I was like, you know what? You know, it'd be really fun if I took 45 seconds of the storyboard and animated it out, because she doesn't really have time to do that. And I think it would be fun and help show my appreciation. It's kind of like giving a gift to someone, where you can be like, I have the time, I could do it, that could be fun. Then you get to see your characters animated. At some point I'll have to animate my own characters, but for now I'm animating hers. So I'm incredibly close to finishing that. The main stuff I need to work on is the backgrounds, and then easing out some of, like adding like an in-between or two for some of the scenes. Because as I'm coloring it, I think I pretty much have the entire thing colored, like, of the sections that I have animated out fully, I have pretty much everything colored. I just need to go back in and maybe add it in between or two. Her boards were so incredibly clean. I didn't have to invent much. I was using her turnarounds that she also helpfully posted, but I didn't have to use that so much until I was doing the in-betweens. All the keyframes I just used from her storyboards. They were so incredibly clean. I was very surprised. Yeah, the pretty please, I don't want to be a magical girl. So good. So lovely. I think you would really have fun with it, especially if you enjoy just magical girl shows, but then having all of the tropes twisted on their head. It's very fun. To what you're saying about Lena, I do feel like I can already connect quite a bit with her character, largely due to being autistic and the duality of desiring respect / to be heard. Yes. Because I have it in the show where her mom wants her to enjoy being a kid, wants her to enjoy living her life and not worry too much about the responsibilities of being an adult. But she goes at it in a way that Lena just feels like she's not being treated seriously. So then she feels like she's not getting respect, and that she doesn't want to be treated like a kid because that means she's not getting respect. And then she gets the opposite from her father, where she's encouraged to try out getting a job and try and take on more responsibilities. But then he's also pushing that too hard, so then she feels overworked and stressed because she didn't actually want to take on that much, or at least now she's feeling like she had to take on that much. And it's not working, at least not in the long term. The audacity for YouTube to play 2 ads in a stream. Also, hi. Hi! I'm so sorry you got 2 ads. I tried to put the ad frequency on low so that it wasn't as disrupting. Because I know how annoying it is to have someone talk about something and then as they're talking about it, you get interrupted. And then you have to scroll back to actually hear what someone was saying. I love her outfit, the colors of the dungarees in her jumper, the dungarees themselves. I love dungarees so much, but they seem but they are seen as childish and childlike. I'm just gonna assume. I think I remember you stating before you were in like Australia or something, and that sounds like a very Australian way to talk about overalls. Got jumpers in there, which is very British, but then dungarees. That seems Australian. Ireland? I was completely off. Don't mind me. What word was I thinking of that like reminded me of that? Jumper makes sense though, because there's got to be some linguistic drift. I feel like someone in my community does live in Australia, and they're the one who wants me to stream on Saturdays because then they can actually join in. Well, apologies for getting your country wrong. Bluey has failed me. Maybe they also say it over there though. Maybe there's some linguistic drift. Super Mario. Also, thank you guys so much for talking with me during the stream. It is so much easier to have an engaging conversation during the stream when I have people participating with me. So I really appreciate that you are taking the time and commenting in the chat. It makes this a lot more fun. Not that I don't have fun when it's just me doing it by myself and just having a running commentary of what I'm doing in the background, but it's always nice to have a conversation as well. Ireland and Australia have a lot of history with immigration and following the Great Famine / Blight. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It would not surprise me then if there was a little bit of linguistic drift. Also, I understand that the bucket tool cannot be put on the hotkey B because that's for brush. But I want to know why it was made G. Maybe they just wanted it close enough so that it's quick enough to hit. Is there a button for F? Oh, yes, there is. Full screen. You know, one of the scarier things to do is to just randomly hit buttons on your keyboard, because you have no idea what's gonna happen. That's why cats are so freely able to help you discover new things with your computer, because it's never on my radar to key smash and figure out what buttons do, but they have no qualms about stepping on every little thing. They don't care what happens. You'll discover like 3 new things after the cat steps on your keyboard. When I saw only 1 message in chat despite the stream having elapsed for 20 minutes, I was worried that it would have been awkward to stream. It happens sometimes. What? It happens sometimes. Sometimes people just want to chill and they don't necessarily want to chat. Some people I have who join me, they will be working on their homework, so they just have me on in the background. Which I guess would mean then they don't want something too involved to watch if they're not too actively engaged. Which means even if my commentary isn't as great, it probably also works. Because I'm still fulfilling the purpose of them watching, which is having a bit of background noise. Can't complain. I do that as well. I'll turn on the stream so I can have something to listen to while I work on my stuff in the background. Or work on my stuff and have something in the background. I've never had my cat or step or lie on my keyboard before. That's good. I'm always worried because never have I thought to put like a 10-pound weight on my keyboard. So I don't necessarily like the feeling of watching one step across my screen. Not the screen, the keyboard, but you get what I mean. It's just, Oh my goodness. You're like, hi, you're so cute. Can you move? Please. Please, please move. Oh no. What did you do? You stepped on like 5 different buttons. I'm still thinking about the fact that I didn't realize that there was a whole game associated to this album. I've listened to this thing so often. Like C418 was one of my top artists on my Spotify rap just based off how many times I streamed and how often I was listening to his music while I was streaming. And it was this album. I'm glad that I was able to bring that to your knowledge. Yes, thank you so much. I bet this music would be so much better while actually playing the game. And I already enjoyed the music so much. So, I'm expecting great things. Great things from the game. Do the ivy a really dark color, but I should put that on a different layer so that it doesn't get in the way of the building. Realistically, I should color the building first before I do the ivy. That would be the smart thing to do. I should probably do the smart thing, which is just color the thing underneath before I color the thing on top. I saw a cat scratching its claws on a keyboard laptop and the owner wasn't bothered. That is crazy. Could not be me. I'm glad they have such a chill approach to life that they're able to calmly accept how things are. Me personally, I would not be letting the cat scratch at my keyboard. My MacBook was way too expensive for that to be a consideration. My goodness. Just full on claws out, fully scratching it? I don't understand. Very familiar. I'm drawing over in the flowers, by the way. It's probably a little bit hard to see because these are small details over here. But I was working on drawing some flowers today, so this is feeling very familiar. A little bit more orange in my leaves. There we go. Dang, this is taking me a while. Here I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll do all of the coloring today. That might not be possible. I will try my best, but I haven't even drawn in all the people yet. I take it you're not drawing at full scale? No, that's for your viewing pleasure. No, for me, I am zoomed in. I figured out how to make different windows for things. So you guys are viewing this on a separate window I made of the artwork, and then I can zoom in and out as many times as I want, and it won't be bad visually for the video. Though that does mean if I'm doing small details, you guys can't really see it. Also, I have realized it's been almost 2 hours and I have not saved. So let's fix that. Repeat of last week. Cool. I'm glad you enjoy it. It was one of the small things that I did. I learned about this when I was doing one of the critique videos. That when I was trying to speed things up, it actually was really annoying. When it just kept flickering on the screen and things were moving. It was kind of hard to speed up the video because of that. Then I learned that trick and I was so very pleased with myself. Let's do something a bit bigger. Just so you have something to actually look at. Let's color in the lamp posts. Make those a dark green. Put that on a separate layer. I was trying to figure out Nightshade the other day, and I was having trouble with it actually exporting something. Like, it seemed like everything was working, but there's no progress bar, so I couldn't actually see if it was. And it never ended up exporting, even though I left it for a good couple hours. So I don't know what's up with that. Like to be able to get it to work, especially considering that I have been making somewhat of an effort to at least start to try and post more frequently to social media. It was one of the suggestions that the industry professionals made to me, was post more often to my social media platforms, not just YouTube. Thank you for joining the stream. Mess around, see if I can get Nightshade to work. I've restarted the computer a couple times since then. Maybe that's all I needed to do. Restart the computer. I'm not sure if I'm liking this green color yet. Might need to mess around with it a bit. Might be a bit too cool toned. Maybe one day I could do a watercolor stream. That could be fun. Though, we're getting pretty close. Do you know how much longer you're planning on streaming for, if I may ask? good right now. Let me look how many viewers we have. We have a pretty decent amount of people watching too. So, I think I'm gonna go for another half an hour or so. Do not feel pressured to stay that long if you need to go do something else. I know you said that your day had just started, so you might need to get ready for the day and go do other things. Completely fine. Not that you need my permission to go off and do something else. Anyway, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're getting pretty close to a milestone in our subscriber count. Getting pretty close to 5,000. Maybe I should do a baking stream. Would that be enjoyed by the masses? Watching me bake something? Or make dinner or something? I don't know. I could set up cooking stream. Also, by the way, your writing in the synopsis for When It Rains is incredible. Oh, thank you! Well, socially, it's the end of the day. Late in the night. Who was it? Was it Greg who said it was the start of their day? Someone said it was the start of their day. I'm misremembering details. You would like a baking stream? Alright, good to know. We could make a cake or something. If I was to do a frosted cake, though, I don't have any cake pans. We have a square baking dish. I could make a Minecraft-themed cake. I have a square dish. I can get some raspberries and strawberries, cut them into squares. Well, not the raspberries, but the strawberries. I have maybe access to parchment paper? If not, parchment paper is easy enough to get. And I could put it on the bottom of the dish so I could pull it out. Yeah, we could do that. I can make some whipped cream frosting, because I prefer whipped cream frosting over to buttercream. I'll be sure to put that into the community tab to be like, hey, once we hit 5,000, we'll do baking stream. I said it was the start, given it passed over midnight, but the end of the previous day and that it's night. Ah, I see. You were playing around with semantics. Technically, it's the next day. I see what you did there. Would be wonderful. I would love to make a Minecraft cake sometime. I've done some mini ones with my aunt. That was fun. Those turned out pretty good. And when I'm making a Minecraft, or at least when I think of Minecraft cakes, I just think of a very basic pound cake. So that will be the cake. I have a pound cake recipe. That'd be good. Oh, and one of the things that was stopping me from doing a cooking stream before was I didn't have my microphone that the microphone that I use is from my gaming headset, which means I need to be attached to my computer in order to use the microphone. But recently is kind of relative, but over Christmas I got some clip-on microphones, so I could test those out to see if those are viable. And then I could be able to. Oh, but also I'll have to check the recording of my wireless earbuds. But apparently the microphone on those is also pretty decent. I have a couple things to try. Yeah, semantics. Just messing around with the semantics, confusing me. No wonder I thought you were in Australia. You were like, it's the beginning of the day. And I was like, must be Australia time. No, no. In all honesty, I would have gone to bed before now had I not seen you were streaming. I just love chilling and chatting there so much, especially in talking about when it rains. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hopefully you don't have anything too pressing to do tomorrow. I don't want you to be super tired if you have to go do something. That's probably why you asked me if I was gonna be streaming for too much longer. Because you do plan on going to bed. Can only derail your plans for the night so long. How about this? Finish coloring the lampposts, and we get the base color of the buildings, and maybe then we call it a night. That might be the best, and for the best. Lamppost, buildings, end stream. That way you can go to bed at a reasonable time. Alright, maybe I can start painting my bedroom if I'm feeling so inclined. Could be fun. I mean, the most I would do would be take the light switch covers off the wall and then paint the edges. Maybe. It is a little bit late in the day to start another project. Enan. The more attached to it I get. I think I wasn't liking it at first because I was used to the light words. Lanterns, that's not quite right. Street lights, there we go. I was used to the street lights being somewhat invisible and not quite pronounced in their own thing. But now that I'm coloring them in, they're actually taking up space. It was, yes, but not in that I meant to pressure you, just wondering about the timeline at which it would be done. Sure. Oh, it's Cinnamon Part 1. It's like Broom, but different. Actually, is this like Broom? It's just familiar to me because I used it for one of my animations. I think it is slightly like Broom. Play the game now, just so I know where all of these songs actually end up showing up. Can't forget about the hidden one behind the tree. I love that animation. I love how you use the music in it. Thank you. I tried to grab the music that sounds similar, but also was growing different as time went on in a foreboding sense. My dad's giggling about something in the background. And I think I know what it's for, but I'm not 100% sure. I have no idea. Good, excellent. Well, I figured it was something you were looking at over there. Either you're on Reels or you're having a very fun text conversation. Ah. You're painting your bedroom? Ooh, I repainted my bedroom a couple of years ago, and it took a couple of years in itself to do to business. Mysterious giggles. Yes, mysterious giggles. Yeah, I have a little bit of a time pressure because I'm currently existing in the room that my sibling is going to move into once they graduate from college, and that's soon. But I am currently in their room because I wanted to make it easy to paint my room. That means if I want to keep my room, I need to actually paint it. So, I have a little over a month to make sure that I paint the room and move into it. Else, I'm gonna run into some issues. And I prefer not to run into issues. So, we're gonna paint the room. You know, I forgot how many lights there were. I had a lot of street lights. I knew I was like getting kind of annoyed with them when I was lining them. And then I forgot about it. And now I'm reminded again of how many lights I added to the street. Which is good, because then people can see. But that means I have to color them in. I think I'm almost done though. I think there's one more to do. It's hidden behind a tree. Yeah. Technically two, but it's so little. It doesn't really count as two separate ones. Okay. And then buildings. What color did I make the buildings the first time? Just a different myriad of reds, whites, and I think the ice cream shop is blue. Let me pull up my website so I can see. This is also why I have When It Rains up on my website, so I can see all of the concept art in one spot. What color? Building is orange. Orange with blue detailing. My room is... I could show you. Hold on. Let me pull up my Pinterest board. And then I'll switch over the stream view real quick. Okay. Let's switch over the stream view. Before we do that though, let's save this again. And now we can switch it over and mess with things. Let's pull that off to the side. Where is it? There we go. There we go. Okay. So here is my mood board for the room. This is essentially how I'm going to paint the walls. I uploaded this because I wanted to have it in a digital viewing. So I'm going to do the base colors. They're going to be a bit lighter than this, but have the room colored in this cream yellow color. And then I'll do swoops in greens. They'll be vaguely reminiscent of either hills or water, but I'm not going to commit to any specific thing. And then I want to have a Zen garden rug. Something kind of like this, with just this kind of movement. Because I want texture, and I want something warm on the floor. And then, I actually got this chair for my birthday, so that will be in the room. And bird lamp would be fun, but bird lamp's expensive, so probably won't get bird lamp. And these are crepe paper flowers that I am going to make my own bouquets of at some point to help decorate the room. I'll have my own bouquet of flowers. And then I think it would be really fun because now I know how to do stained glass. I want to essentially build out the closet doors to have a stained glass framing in them. I think that would be really fun. This is looking so wonderful. I'm just imagining walking down this cozy town in the sunset. Yes, yes. I want it to be very cozy looking. And ooh, gorgeous. I love that color palette and the shaping. Thank you. I was having a lot of fun putting this board together. It's so exciting just being able to create something new in a space that you're gonna live in. Like, I have plans for the bathroom too, but no specific things designed yet. I've painted my walls a lavender amethyst color, and I hope to do more painting and doing a mural kind of thing, like what you're planning with the walls. Ooh, very cool. Very nice colors. I got very messy, but nothing / white rooms. Significantly cool decorations. Stained glass is cool, but would be too scared to break it for me. That's fair. That's fair. I would be doing it with lead because that's what they would be using for stained glass in church windows, which is much stronger than copper foil. But that doesn't mean I have to mess around with lead again. It wasn't too bad, and the design, that design is a lot more geometric than the first design I did, which has more curves, so I think it would be easier to cut out. Anyway, back to the illustration. Okay, so I think the last time that I did this, and what I'm going to do again, is I used the lasso tool, but specifically the snap one. So you won't see me doing anything for a second because I am sectioning off the areas of the illustration for color. But this will make it significantly easier to go and color in. All the things you're planning with your room are so lovely and inspiring to me a bit too. I love color and light, so incorporating stained glass is a really nice idea. That will probably be a later Alyssa project, but yeah, that's the general idea. Have something that helps bring a little whimsy into the space. That was not what I wanted. Why did you complete yourself, sir? Come back. I was not done. Yeah, you can't see anything that I'm doing currently. Just trust that I'm selecting things and it'll work well. I'm almost done selecting the right side. So we'll be able to get coloring very soon. So one of the things that I got some bookshelves recently to put into my room because I am a big fan of collecting books. And now I have more space to put it because I previously had one IKEA Billy bookcase. It wasn't quite enough. I was filling it up fast. You may be thinking, well, maybe it's time to then get rid of some books if you're running out of space on your tall bookshelf. Well, that just seems silly. Why would I get rid of books when I can just get more bookshelves? I want a little library. My dad's laughing at me. You're not laughing at me? You just happen to be laughing as I'm talking about not being silly and not getting rid of books and just getting more bookshelves. Okay. You can tell me about it later. As I grow older, I do fear losing my creativity and imaginativeness. So if I can reinforce whimsy and fun in my room, I think that'll help lots. Yes, yes, keep the whimsy, keep the fun. I think the saddest thing about growing up is not actually growing up, it's just letting the world jade you and make you affect you in a way that affects your whimsy. Like, in some bits it's hard not to avoid the harsh realities and the just unpleasantness and unfairness of the world, but it's a bit easier to bear when you have some joy and whimsy with things. Don't let anyone convince you that in order to be taken seriously, you need to be serious all the time. People are deserving of respect, no matter how much whimsy they add into their life. Keep the silly. Exactly. You gotta keep the silly. It's the only way to keep yourself sane. It's just more fun that way. I can't imagine trying to make life less fun for yourself. It just seems silly in a way that's not fun. Are you eating a Snickers bar? Oh. I think that's why I'm already forming a connection with When It Rains. Well, if you like that concept, I don't know if you've watched Centaur World at all, but it's a show that grapples with that exact theming of wanting to be taken seriously in the world, but then also having a part of you that is silly and struggling to connect between the two of them. show itself is very weird. So if you like weird things, definitely give it a shot. I think I was even ambitious with saying I was going to color in all of the buildings. It is quickly approaching 11. This front building was white. My sister watched it and she quite highly recommends it, as she should. One of my favorite songs, because this is a musical, from that show is, I think it's called Welcome to the Bay. It focuses on the water shaman, the sea shaman. It's such a lovely, upbeat song that has... I will need to make sure that that tent, that overhang is a different color. That blends in with the sidewalk in a way I dislike. My computer every once in a while is just deciding to try and sound like it's trying to take off. It's okay. You have plenty of RAM. We don't need to fly to the moon. It's not necessary. Actually, let's color this in like a light yellow color. And then we can do red stripes. I will end the stream in about 4 minutes or so. Because I am definitely not going to finish coloring the buildings today. I am guessing at the perspective right now. It's a little wonky. One more building. Let's do this one right here, because honestly I think this is a bookshop right here. And I really enjoy the colors in the previous illustration. So I want to get that in. And then we'll call it a night. Surprised your computer is trying to find RAM on the moon, given the only life known there is currently tardigrades. There's tardigrades on the moon? I didn't know there was tardigrades on the moon. I know they can survive out in space. I didn't realize they were thriving out in space. But yeah, it's trying times. There's only so many places you can get RAM nowadays. I guess the moon is one of them. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Personally, I think it's a bit greedy that my computer wants more RAM, considering how little of it there is to go around. Tone down the color slightly, because I do like how bright it is, but I also know that some of this brightness comes from the lighting itself. So if I go too hard with the colors now, it's gonna look neon later. I should not use the pastel brush. Oh my gosh. I hate when that happens. You change the sizes and now I can't. I should bookmark that brush because I really like that brush, and now I don't know where that brush went. My goodness. Now is not a good time to be experimenting with brushes. You know, I did say that I was gonna end at 11. This building, it calls to me. It wants brick detailing. Just a little bit longer. It'll be fine. I have only like one thing to do tomorrow. It's fine. I haven't been able to do much more since painting it, unfortunately. Just checked my Pinterest board for my room. Embarrassingly, it has 389 pins and growing. Hey, that means you just have grand plans. Whether or not they get executed is another thing, but half of the fun is just making the plan. You don't even have to execute it all. Just making the plan sometimes is more fun than actually executing it. I think the only thing that beats making the plan is like finally getting to see the execution of your plan. But even then, I don't know. Sometimes making the plan is even more fun than that. It's like collecting books. There's two separate hobbies. You collect books and you read books. And sometimes those things merge together. And oftentimes, people who collect books also like reading books. But let's be honest, people who collect books, they collect more books than they ever read. Alright, I should probably stop. But the bricks, the house detailing. Night! partly why I like this building so much, is I added just a lot of details to it to make it feel alive. I think the only other building that gets that level of detail is the building right next to the bookshop. Maybe I should change that. Maybe I should put a little bit more detail into the rest of the buildings. This is like playing Legend of Zelda. I have so many open quests. It's hard to say no, stop, do something else, go to bed. But it's coming together so beautifully. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Icker. That was very nice of you. Okay. Really though, I should be done for the night. I should free you guys or something. I don't know. I played the old Legend of the Zeldas. I added a "the" in there. That wasn't necessary. I played the old Legend of Zeldas. The oldest version of Legend of Zelda I've played is, I think it was Majora's Mask. It was either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Whichever one didn't include the moon, I think. I didn't play the moon one night. Alright. We did a fantastic bit of progress today. I'm very happy with how this is turning out so far, and thank you so much for everyone who joined in on the stream. It was a really lovely time. Like the super pixelated Legend of Zelda. Are you talking about the first game? Are you talking about the one where it's actual pixel art? Alright, I will be streaming again next week. Ideally, I'll let you know if that changes, but next week we'll be streaming again at 8:30. We'll continue work on the illustration, and hopefully we'll get all of the flat colors in. And we might get into adding in some of the characters based on how long that takes. I do want to add more details to the actual individual buildings, because I've really enjoyed it in the other ones, so I think I should take the time and effort to actually add details to at least the front two at the right. Okay. That will be next week's problem. We'll work on it then. Until then, have a good rest of your week. Good night. Alright. Bye.